Hey Collective and Soul Tribe, happy Friday. Okay, today is Friday the 20th. This is just an extra video for you guys when it comes to Journey Oracle messages and what you guys might need to know. Okay, so let's get started and see what you guys might need to know for today. Okay, so Spirit, what extra messages do you have for the collective at this time when it comes to February 20th? What do they need to know at this time, please? So Spirit, what extra messages do you have for the collective when it comes to their journey? What do they need to know while they're on their journey? Oh, okay. So these two cards, well, this card flipped over, okay. I think that's the only card that flipped over. So your persona could be very significant for some of you, okay. Now, for some of you, when it comes to your persona, there's something about being authentic. Some of you guys are being authentic or stepping into your authenticity at this time. And then there's also about you guys going with the flow, okay? Especially with the colors matching. There is something about water, okay, that could be very significant. And also when it comes to challenges and obstacles and things of that nature. But when it comes to you guys moving forward or taking action or even just going with the flow of the universe, that is very significant at this time. Some of you guys could be resting. Now, take what resonates with this when it comes to rest. This could be taking time off, taking a day off. This could be anything, okay? But whatever this energy is, there's something about tea that could be significant, or maybe coffee. Chamomile tea could be very significant, and also, if it's not coffee, I feel like chai. Like somebody might like chai tea too. That could be significant because of like the spices and stuff that's in it. But rest is very significant, and also vacation, okay? So some of you guys could be thinking about, you know, taking some time off or going on vacation or whatever the case is. We have the present moment as well. So something could be happening within the present moment at this time when it comes to your energy. Now, this is about divine timing, okay? And your integrity. So there is something about divine timing and your integrity that could be very significant for some of you. And even when it comes to your integrity, there's just certain things that you just have to give a rest, okay? Now, confirmation with the horn, there's something about a situation in this present time where your integrity could be very significant at this time, and there's something about you releasing and letting go what no longer serves you. So if it is messing with your integrity, or there's something about your integrity being messed around with, or you know, just being played with, right? There's something about you moving away from a situation that no longer serves you in a sense of your integrity, okay? You want balance in your life. You want peace in your life. You want quiet in your life. You want things to be normal, okay, in your life. And unfortunately, when it comes to rest, right, there is certain things that, you know, you have laid it to rest, okay? This could be people, places, and things. This could be situations that you guys could be dealing with or going with at this moment. But whatever it is, there's something about giving something a rest and just letting things flow, okay? Your integrity could be very significant at this time because of the fact that no matter how many times you express yourself about certain things, there's always going to be a situation where people are just going to purposely not try to understand, right? Also, when it comes to dealing with people in a sense of having to always repeat yourself or having to always show up or stand up for yourself, you feel like you always have to fight because other people do not have boundaries or they don't have respect for your you know, integrity or your energy, right? So whatever energy this might be, you are moving away, okay, from people, places, and things. You are no longer entertaining things that don't serve you. And especially with astrology at this time, we are at an astrological sign of Pisces, which is the end, right? So if this is the end, whatever is happening right now for February, you guys are getting ready for March, okay? So that you can either step up and lead, right? When it comes to taking action, or even when it comes to grounding yourself and buckling down, whether this is saving money, whether this is moving, whatever the case is. But there is somebody's persona at this time. Now, your persona could be very authentic. Like you can say what you feel and feel what you say and mean that. And you could have people around you that just like to mess around or play around or just be delusional in your energy, whatever this situation might be. Okay. A lot of the times, these situations that try to mess with your integrity, it's a lot of projection. Okay. And when people like to project their insecurities onto you without even having any understanding, you start to feel like, what is the point? Right? What is the point of wasting my time? What is the point of wasting my breath? What is the point of wasting my energy on people, places, and things that no matter how many times you explain yourself, it's almost like beating a dead horse, okay? So take what resonates with that. We also have awakened. Okay, some of you guys are awakening when it comes to the situation. Okay, you guys could have awakened or you guys are awakening, but there is something about seeing things for what it is. Okay, accepting people for who they are, knowing that people will never change. Okay, and there are situations where people can change, but right now in this energy where you guys could be dealing with, there could be a situation where you're just sick and tired. You know what I mean, collective? Like, you're sick and tired of people. You're sick and tired of always being the one to understand other people, whether you like somebody or not, okay, or whether you hate somebody or not. It's the fact that you still have integrity about yourself, okay? You could be in a situation too where you could be asking someone, hey, by the way, I do this X, Y, and Z, so please don't X, Y, and Z. And the person can still go ahead and still do it, right? Which means they don't have any respect for you, they don't have any morals, and they don't have any integrity themselves. But with you, you have integrity, right? You have integrity, you have respect, whether people don't want to admit it or not. You've always had respect for people, but because now in this situation, some of you guys have pulled your energy back and you guys are moving forward, right? So you guys have gone through awakenings where you've seen things for what it is, okay, when it comes to people, and now you guys are focusing on yourselves, and now you guys are focusing on trying to leave a situation or, move away from that situation because, again, it no longer serves you, okay? And if people don't want to understand that, you have a path and you have a vision or a goal that you're trying to meet, then that's on them, okay? If the shoe was on the other foot, then, unfortunately, they would be crying and bawling and carrying on and doing all kinds of stuff, right? But with your energy, there's something about you understanding that no matter how many times you explain yourself about a situation, people are just not going to want to understand on purpose, okay? People, like, unfortunately, I'm not talking about Gen Zs and millennials. I feel like other people may understand this, but there are certain people or groups of people or generations that purposely do things on purpose because they don't want to do the inner healing. Okay, going within yourself, going in and healing yourself, and understanding that you having introspection and understanding your situation and why things are happening the way they happen. There's some people who just don't get that. Okay, some people don't understand why they receive their karma, okay, most of the time. So every time they do something to you, collective and soul tribe, it always comes back to them tenfold, and sometimes not in a good way either. So there's something about you guys awakening, starting something that you guys are creating on your own. There's something about starting a creation, whether this is writing, journaling, whatever it is, right? You guys are creating something new, right? You awakening and allowing yourself to create is releasing what no longer serves you, like I had said before, right? You're releasing what no longer serves you. If this is people, places, and things, right now is the best time, okay? Because I feel like with some of you guys, once you release that and let it go, you're not coming back, okay? You're not coming back. You're not going to force anything, when it comes to the connection or the relationship or just the environment itself, okay? Because most of the times, if you leave an environment and it's always been a positive situation or it was a healthy environment, you always will go back, right? But for some of you, when it comes to a situation, you may feel as though, why would I come back to a place where there's no respect? And there's this energy of people who feel like because they're an elder or they're older than you, they feel like it's okay to be disrespectful. And they think it's okay to do the things that they do to the collective because they think that they're older and they're wiser. Sometimes you can be older and stupid, Okay? You could be younger than somebody and still be wiser than them, right? Age has nothing to do with wisdom. Age has nothing to do with, you know, having common sense, right? And that is something that you guys are learning when it comes to your journey. You guys are realizing that sometimes people who are older than you, they don't have wisdom, they don't have common sense sometimes. You're the one that has more common sense than certain people. Okay, so step by step is very significant. You are taking it step by step when it comes to planning things out, whether this is moving, whether this is finding another job, whether this is starting a new job. Okay, you guys are finding ways to take everything step by step. Planning could be very significant so that once you have everything that you need, that's it. You're gone, right? So even if it's leaving an environment, leaving a job, leaving a place, it doesn't matter where you guys are in this time, right? There's something about you guys packing it up, taking step by step, okay? Taking it little by little. Baby steps are very significant. So if some of you guys are thinking about, you know, going back to school or starting something new, there's something about baby steps that's very significant at this present time, okay? So some of you guys that resonate with this message, right? There's something to do with your creations are helping you release and see things from a different perspective and see things from a bigger picture, okay? Because you go within and because you sit down within yourself, and you also will sit down and, you know, criticize yourself too. Sometimes you sit down and you criticize yourself and you wonder, why am I always in these kind of situations with people? You always ask yourself these things because sometimes you start to wonder, am I crazy or is the world crazy? Okay? And for some of you guys that resonate with this, there's this energy of you don't want to be around people like this any longer. And I know that you guys are moving forward and taking steps by step and things like that. But there are some people who are still in certain environments or certain places that they work. And every day it may feel like a burden, okay? Having to deal with other people's emotions, having to deal with other people's, you know, reasonings or whatever the case may be, right? So if you're somebody who can sit down and articulate yourself, okay, and say how you feel and, you know, say, hey, by the way, X, Y, and Z, if this has been repeated multiple times, Collective and Soul Tribe, please do not waste your time anymore, okay? And this is coming from a genuine place and coming from the heart. Don't waste your time anymore. Allow karma to get to whoever it needs to get to. Because it almost feels like for some of you guys, it's almost like an energy of you're minding your business, you're trying to do your own thing, you're trying to focus, you're trying to, you know, go within, and you may have people around you who do not understand that or don't get that. You know what I mean? They don't understand that your path is different from theirs, okay? You have a different path. Okay, not everybody's going to understand why you go within or why you're quiet or why you like silence. No, not everybody's going to understand that, unfortunately. And a lot of times people do things to trigger people on purpose because they're mentally ill. I'm sorry to say it, but unfortunately, in this day and age, people are literally mentally ill, okay? If you are somebody who minds your business and you have someone in your energy constantly trying to provoke you in little tiny ways, whatever it is, literally just ignore that person, okay? Just ignore them. Because you guys are moving forward, you guys are moving away from this environment, you guys are moving up, okay? Leveling up is very significant as well. Money is very significant. We also have boundaries, okay? So again, when it comes to you guys and your money and you guys building something that's secure, your boundaries are up at a 10 right now. Okay, nobody is trying to get into your energy at this time because your boundaries are very, very high at this time. Okay, you are tired, you are sick, you are also at this energy of when is it going to happen? Okay, and the reason why I'm channeling this message is because there are people out there who, you know, every day is not going to be a good day, but at least with the Collective and Soul Tribe, you always try to be positive, or you always try to find the positive in life, right? And if you're not somebody who's miserable all the time, unfortunately, misery loves company. So if you're somebody who is trying to, like I said, work on your business or work on something, and you've been more than expressive, you know, there's something about your boundaries being up, because you know once you leave that environment or that job, or that whatever it is that you guys, that relationship, confirmation with the horn, okay, there's something about you blocking out what no longer serves you. Again, even when it comes to burdens as well, you were protecting a lot of people's energy by being around them. And now that you're not around them, there's something about your energy allowing things to just happen because you were protecting whoever you were protecting at that time. Okay? Unfortunately, collective and soul tribe, not everybody's going to get it. You know what I mean, guys? Not everyone's going to get it. It doesn't matter how many times you do something. Like I said, it's literally like bringing a horse to drink water and the horse doesn't drink. Or, you're like beating a dead horse at this point. Okay? Inner child energy is very significant in inspiration. There's something about your inner child that's very significant when it comes to growing up. Some of you guys had to grow up alone at times, okay, and do things alone at times, even when it comes to like adulting on your own and mothering and fathering yourself at some points, okay? There could have been moments too where there could have been things where you've seen a lot of things, you understood a lot of things, and you had to understand that at a very young age, okay? Even when it comes to your optimism and being a bright light, okay, for other people, you may see certain things, and as an adult right now, there's certain things that are very disappointing to you as an adult when it comes to your inner child, okay? Even when it comes to your creativity, right? There could have been certain things as a child that you were not able to do because of the blockages when it comes to boundaries, okay? And your inner child. For some of you guys are releasing certain things so that you can tap more into your inner child so that you can create more. Okay, there's this energy of sacral chakra and also solar plexus chakra, right? So when it comes to your energy, inner child energy, even though you may be young, and there's also something about youthfulness as well, even if you might be young or you are the youngest out of everybody or whatever the case is, you see things. Okay, collective and soul tribe, you see things. You see people, you see things, you see situations, and you just let it be. And you just say, you know what, it is what it is. I cannot communicate with people who cannot communicate back or just have a understanding as well, right? So for some of you guys, when it comes to your inspirations, you're focused on your inspirations. Your inspirations are tapping into from your inner child as well. Even storytelling is very significant. Some of you guys could be talking about a lot of things you went through in your childhood, and you guys could be showing up for yourself. Okay, but when it comes to creativity, when it comes to tapping in, when it comes to, focusing on yourself, okay, your mental well-being, your mental health, okay, and your physical well-being, you're focusing on that at this time because you do not have the time or the patience to deal with people who act like children, okay, especially with inner child. It's like you almost feel like you deal with a lot of situations where you're trying to be in this happy-go-lucky, optimistic type of energy. And also when it comes to boundaries, finding peace and also finding some type of energy of going within, okay? Some of you guys may realize that, like I said, there's just no point anymore, right? So again, if this is a job, maybe some of you guys are trying to find another job or trying to leave. If this is a home situation, some of you guys are trying to move out. If this is a friendship situation, some of you guys are trying to distance yourself from certain people. Yeah, mirrors, okay? You mirror back and you reflect back what people don't like it's a trigger basically, okay? So if you are a mirror, okay, what you reflect back to other people, it's triggering, right? So if you're quiet, you get back quiet. If you're positive, you get back positive, okay? If you are in this energy of being trickster or, just trying to play mind games or just being weird, whatever energy that is, like a low vibration energy, then that's going to come back as well. Okay, but I'm not getting that from you guys. I'm getting a sense of you guys are always in situations where there's like a pattern, and some of you guys are breaking the pattern, right? So again, if people try to do things to be triggering or to do things to just be misunderstanding on purpose, you guys are seeing that for what it is, okay? We have introspection at the bottom of the deck, Okay, I wish I was lying to you guys when I said that, but introspection at the bottom of the deck. So you've gone within yourself multiple and multiple and multiple and multiple and multiple of times, right? And you being able to go in within yourself and just see things, like I said, for what it is very significant. Your perspective is very different for your age. Okay, for some of you guys are in your 20s. Okay, some of you guys may be in your 30s, maybe your 40s, but there's something about the way you look at life and how you can internalize everything. So even when you're not even in the wrong, you will still sit down and internalize everything and then come back even better, right? So obviously take what resonates with that. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get one more card. Yeah, follow your bliss. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have synchronicities. We have keep going. Okay. Highest self. And then we also have the whisper. So you're listening to your inner self. You're listening to the inner whispers when it comes to this situation. Okay, you're listening to your highest self. You're following your intuition. You're following your gut. Okay, you're no longer entertaining outside, entities or outside things. Okay, anything that is a burden, anything that makes you feel burden or makes you stress or whatever the case is, you guys are trying to walk away from that and listen to your in your gut. Okay, again, introspection. Okay, again, so even so, right, no matter what it is that you guys are dealing with, you're going to get abundance regardless. There's abundance coming towards you guys when it comes to this energy. Okay, so like I said, when it comes to, dealing with people, places, and things, you guys are going with the flow, but at the same time, while you guys are trying to go with the flow, there's always disruptions or there's always something in the collective's energy that it's almost becoming unbearable for some of you guys. Like, it's becoming very unbearable, right? But it's not that you guys are not, sticking to it, or it's not that you guys are quitting. You guys are not quitting, but there are days where you start to wonder what is really going on with people, and do people not understand the energy that they carry when it comes to healing? You know what I mean? Like, maybe you're somebody who's very introverted. Maybe you like to stay home. Maybe you're a homebody. Okay, maybe you don't like to go outside all the time. Maybe you just like to be alone. Okay, and even when you do speak up, it almost feels like people are ignoring what you're saying on purpose. Okay, so it's funny how you can respect everybody else and be there, okay, in a sense of, even if you don't speak to certain people anymore, or like I said, boundaries, right? You're protecting your energy. You still know how to still be somewhat respectful in some way. Okay. And for some of you guys, when it comes to this energy, you guys are feeling as though, every time you put one step forward, you feel like you're taking another step back. Okay. And I want you guys to know that you guys need to keep going, right? Keep going, keep pushing, keep striving, because at the end of the day, no matter how much you try your best to be the best person you possibly can, there's always going to be somebody who's going to find fault in you. And you cannot control how people feel about you. It is what it is, okay? You can't control that. What you can control is your thoughts, right? You can control your thoughts. You can control how you act. You can control how you feel about a situation. But if you are doing the inner work and you are healing and you're going within, and other people around you don't want to do that inner work, that's not on you to take care of that person. It is not your job, collective and soul tribe, to be the emotional, punching bag for other people. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end it here. Please take what, resonates with you guys. But there is this energy of, it's like a consistent pattern of a cycle that keeps repeating itself over and over again. And for some of you guys have broken out of that cycle, but there's other people that could be around your energy that they haven't learned the cycle. They haven't learned their lesson in that cycle. And I'm telling you guys, stay away. Okay, stay far away. Whatever energy this is, stay far away from that. Okay, because again, like I said, there's certain things, whether this is seen, unseen forces, or whatever entities that are out there, where the energy feels like it's trying to trigger the collective. You know what I mean, guys? Like trying to get the collective to, I guess, go back to the way they used to be, right? So if somebody knows you from, like, you know, maybe in the past and maybe you've changed now, there's something about your energy where you're just like, I'm over this. Okay, like you're over it. Okay, and it's not to say that you don't care, you used to care, but there's this energy too for the collective. It's like people pleasing is no longer a thing for us, right? And bending over backwards for people who, you know, while you were there doing what you needed to do, these are the same people who try to disrespect you, okay, in many ways. And because you like to keep to yourself, sometimes people would lie on you, okay? And it's almost like you start to wonder, you know, why am I in an environment like this? So it's like you guys are trying to prepare at this time. Right now, I think I had mentioned there's a waxing crescent moon, okay, at this time. So for some of you guys are in preparation to release and let go. And you guys are also in preparation to move forward and move away from environments that are no longer serving you. It's almost like somebody has grown out of an environment, and no matter how many times they try to plant seeds in that environment to see that environment grow, it's almost like someone keeps stepping on that plant and crushing that plant. And it almost feels like that's your energy, collective. It almost feels like you're the plant, right? You're the seed and you're the plant. It's almost like you're trying to grow in an environment that is dead. You know, it's dead. There's no growth, there's no growing from it. There's nothing, right? And some of you guys could be feeling that energy at this time. Now, the reason why I'm putting this video out today too is because, again, you guys could feel that shift where you guys can feel like it's getting closer and closer and closer for you to move away from this energy. And I want to say maybe like 1 week, or at least 1 week or 2 weeks could be very significant for some of you, okay, when it comes to this energy. But I'm going to end it here, guys. Please take what resonates with you whenever you see this message or video. And again, like I said, try to stay away from energies that try to trigger you, or, you know, they're trying to get you to react or trying to get you to do things that honestly you don't have the time or the patience or the energy to do. Okay, like some of you guys are at that point in your life where it's almost like you start to really wonder, you know, you really wonder. So I'm going to leave it here. Please take what resonates with you. Again, thank you for the support and the love that you guys have been, you know, giving and sharing at this time. And again, you guys can follow me on TikTok and YouTube, okay? And you guys can go on my website. It's www.mysteriouslyunique.ca. And again, thank you guys, okay, for, you know, being patient as well. And I'm not saying this as in like for me, but for you, right? You know, always thank yourselves for being patient. Always thank yourself for being understanding when it comes to other people. You know, a lot of people don't realize how much of a gift it is to have you guys, you know, in the environment or in the energy, because once you're gone, you're gone. And I feel like for some of you guys, when it comes to certain situations, you guys are never coming back. Okay, you guys are never coming back. And unfortunately for whoever was in your energy, it's almost like they're gonna have to miss out on being around you moving forward, you know, because it's almost like you're starting to see certain patterns, you're starting to see certain things, and you're starting to realize that people just don't care. You know what I mean? Like people really just don't care. Like I said, you could be somebody who, even if you don't like somebody, you know, you try your best to keep the peace, or you try your best to be accommodating and understanding to other people without causing chaos or drama and things like that. And like I said, there could be situations where, you know, it's not the same for you guys, right? You could be dealing with certain people, like I said, or places or things like that, right? But whatever this energy is, guys, please stay away from it. Please ignore it and just focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have yourself, and you're the only one that's going to help you get out of this situation, unfortunately. Okay, even if you were hoping that people could help you, you know, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. it's almost like you have to take that step in order to move away from that situation. And I feel like you guys are making plans or making steps to do that. Okay, I'm gonna end it here though. Okay guys, I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right guys, bye.